teacher working as school assistant at ZPHS Gauripatnam. I'm ecstatically delighted to meet you again. Today, in this session, we will be continuing the discussion on Bipin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory by Satyajit Ray. Fourth chapter, Honeydew, 8th class. Stick to me. We will be moving into a very interesting, exciting twist of the climax, which not only reveals the facts but also relieves our Bipin Choudhury. Let's enjoy English language through this story. Before we leap into our subject, let's have a look at the overview of this session. Overview of this session. Bipin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory by Satyajit Ray. In this session, we are going to discuss firstly recap of what we have discussed in our previous sessions. And in that one, we are going to discuss the summary of the previous session and the concepts we have learned from that session. Which is followed by second activity, reading the text. Reading the text is meant for correct intonation and pronunciation. Thirdly, working with the text, in which we are going to discuss the vocabulary, phrases, usage, and comprehension check activities. Fourthly, working with language, in which we compare and contrast the past tense and present perfect tense usage, and a few idioms and their usage also. Now, as you got an idea on the overview, we will look at the learning objectives you are going to achieve after this session. Learning objectives. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the characters in Bipin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory. Recognize and recollect the events that happened in the story and discuss the same with your friends. Recall and select the alternatives of words or phrases. Compare and contrast the difference between past tense and present perfect tense. Use a few idioms that you find in the lesson. Choose appropriate verbs to complete the sentences. Now we will be moving into our first part of our session. Recap of what we have learnt earlier. We learnt that in Bipin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory, Bipin used to spend his leisure time in reading books. We also came to know that his wife died and he had no children. It is all about how Bipin Babu goes crazy with anxiety after meeting Parimal Ghosh because he cannot recollect his stay at Ranchi. Bipin had a telephonic conversation with his friend Dinesh Mukherjee, and he also confirmed that they had visited Ranchi earlier. It worried him a lot because he could remember everything except the trip to Ranchi. Thus he came to a conclusion that he might be having a lapse of memory. This made his head reel and see the doctor. We discussed some phrases like meek, idle chat, disbelief, etc. We discussed some idioms like close quarters, broke into, beat about the bush, vanished into thin air, etc. We discussed the use of has to, have to, or had to in order to convey the need or necessity of the situation. Now we will be moving into the next part of our session, reading text. Reading text. After lunchtime, Bipin Babu realized that he couldn't possibly carry on sitting at his desk and working. This had never happened in the 25 years he had been with his firm. He had a reputation for being a tireless, conscientious worker. But today his head was in a whirl. So look at Bipin Babu. He is sitting at his desk but he is unable to carry on his work. This anxious situation is created because of his conversation with Parimal Ghosh. Back home at 2:30, Bipin Babu lay down in bed and tried to gather his wits together. He knew that it was possible to lose one's memory through an injury in the head, but he didn't know of a single instance of someone remembering everything except one particular incident, and a fairly recent and significant one at that. He had always wanted to go to Ranchi. To have gone there, done things, and not to remember was something utterly impossible. So, look at the image in the slide. Here, you can see Bipin Choudhury. He is thinking that why am I not remembering only Ranchi trip? I can remember everything. But why am I unable to remember only Ranchi trip? This is what bothering our Bipin Choudhury. At 7:30, Bipin Babu's servant came and announced, Chuni Babu sir says it's very important. Bipin Babu knew what Chuni had come for. Here comes Chuni Lal, who is Bipin Babu's close friend. Chuni Lal, Bipin's childhood friend. Chuni Lal had been at school with him. He had been having a rough time lately and had been coming to see him about a job. Bipin Babu knew it was not possible to do anything for him and in fact told him so. But Chuni kept turning up like a bad penny. Oh, that's very sad situation for Chuni Lal and a troublesome situation for Bipin Babu. Because Chuni Lal is coming repeatedly to see Bipin Babu for help. But Bipin Babu is in such a situation that he cannot offer any help to Chuni Lal. Working with the text. Vocabulary. After lunchtime, Bipin Babu realized that he couldn't possibly carry on sitting at his desk and working. Look at the picture. Bipin Babu was in a confused state. So, he couldn't possibly carry on sitting at his desk. What is the synonym for carry on? Is it continue or is it stop? What is the possible answer for it? Yes, you are right. It's the continue. Well done. He had a reputation for being a tireless, conscientious worker. Conscientious, careful and correct. Usage. She is a conscientious worker in attending all her office work. He is a conscientious person and takes care of his family. So, conscientious meaning very careful and who is always correct in their work and behavior. Working with text. But Chunilal kept turning up like a bad penny. Turning up like a bad penny. What is the meaning of this phrase? Appearing at a place where one is not welcome. Usage. I don't like his intervention. He is turning up like a bad penny. So Chunilal kept turning up like a bad penny. So he is not welcomed at Bipin's place, but he is turning up because he is in need of a job. He is in need of some money, right? Comprehension check. Who kept turning up like a bad penny? Is it Bipin Choudhury? Is it Parimal Ghosh? Is it Chunilal? Is it Dinesh Mukherjee? What's the right answer? Yes, you are right. Chunilal is the right answer. So option C is the right answer. You're doing good job. Next, one more comprehension check question. Who came to Bipin's house in the evening? Chunilal came to Bipin's house or Parimal Ghosh came to Bipin's house? What is the right answer? Yes, you are right. Chunilal came to Bipin house is the right answer. Keep going. One more comprehension check question. Why did Chunilal come to see Bipin Babu? Having a lot of problems, Chunilal came to meet Bipin for a job. Being his friend just to have an idle chat. What is the right option? Yes, you are right. Having a lot of problems, Chunilal came to meet Bipin for a job. Very good. Now, we will be continuing the reading the text. But as soon as the servant stepped out of the room, it struck Bipin Babu that Chuni might remember something about the 58 trip. There was no harm in asking him. Bipin Babu hurried down the stairs and into the living room. Chuni was about to leave, but seeing Bipin Babu appear, he turned round hopefully. Bipin Babu didn't beat about the bush. Now, let me explain here the situation. Now, Chunilal is in a bad condition. He needs some help from Bipin Babu. and he is expecting some help from Bipin Babu, and Bipin Babu thinks he is unable to help Chunilal. So Bipin Babu thinks he is a bad penny. He is coming, keep on disturbing him. And as Bipin was in such a situation that he immediately sent the servant that he cannot meet Chunilal. When he is about to leave the room, suddenly Bipin thought that Chunilal might know something about the 58 Ranchi trip. So he again came, and Chunilal was thinking that as Bipin Babu came there to give some solution or to help Chunilal. Okay, so this is the situation there. Now, here comes our Bipin Babu and Chunilal. Let's see how they are going to talk to each other. Listen, Chuni, I want to ask you something. You have a good memory and you have been seeing me off and on for a long time. Just throw your mind back and tell me, did I go to Ranchi in 58? 58? It must have been 58. Or was it in 59? You are sure that I did go to Ranchi? Do you mean you have doubts about having gone at all? Did I go? Do you remember clearly? Bipin, have you taken to drugs or something? As far as I know, you had a clean record where such things were concerned. I know that old friendship don't mean much to you, but at least you had a good memory. You can't really mean that you have forgotten about Ranchi trip. Do you remember what my last job was? Of course, you worked in a travel agency. You remember that? And you don't remember that it was I who fixed up your railway booking for Ranchi? I went to the station to see you off. One of the fans in your compartment was not working. I got an electrician to fix it. Have you forgotten everything? Whatever is the matter with you? You don't look too well, you know. I have been working too hard. That must be the reason. Must see about consulting a specialist. Vocabulary. You have been seeing me off and on for a long time. This is what we have read just now. Bipin Babu said to Chunilal, off and on means now and then. What is the usage of it? It rained off and on as it was mid-monsoon. Working with the text. Just throw your mind back and tell me, did I go to Ranchi in 58? So this question was asked by Bipin to Chunilal. Throw your mind back. What does it mean? Think back and recall a past event. What is the usage? Ramya threw her mind back to recollect what she had learnt in the previous class. Maybe she has to write the exam. So Ramya threw her mind back to recollect what she had learnt in the previous class. Working with text, vocabulary. That must be the reason. Must see about consulting a specialist. Bipin Babu said so. Must see about consulting. What does it mean? May have to consult. So, what is the usage of this one? You are suffering from fever, so you must consult a doctor. Comprehension check. Who worked in a travel agency? Parimal Ghosh? Chunilal. What is the right answer? Chunilal is the right answer. Well done. Now we will be continuing the reading text. Reading text. Doubtless, it was Bipin's condition which made Chunilal leave without mentioning anything about a job. Paresh Chanda was a young physician with a pair of bright eyes and a sharp nose. He became thoughtful when he heard about Bipin Babu's symptoms. Look, Dr. Chanda, said Bipin Babu desperately. You must cure me of this horrible illness. I can't tell you how it's affecting my work. Here comes Dr. Chanda, and we will see what he is going to suggest our Bipin Choudhury. You know what, Mr. Choudhury, I have never had to deal with a case such as yours. Frankly, this is quite outside my field of experience, but I have one suggestion. I don't know if it will work, but it's worth a try. It can do no harm. But I can make out, and I think you are of the same opinion. You must have been to Ranchi, but due to some unknown reason, the entire episode has slipped out of your mind. What I suggest is that you go to Ranchi once again. The sight of the place may remind you of your trip. This is not impossible. More than that, I cannot do at the moment. I am prescribing a nerve tonic and a tranquilizer. Sleep is essential, or the symptoms will get more pronounced. Working with the text. Taking the doctor's suggestion, Bipin visited Ranchi but nothing helped him, and finally he decided to visit Hudru Falls. At 5 o'clock the same afternoon in Hudru, two Gujarati gentlemen from a group of picnickers discovered Bipin Babu lying unconscious beside a boulder. When he came round, the first thing Bipin Babu said was, I'm finished. There's no hope left. Back home, in complete despair, he gave a call to Dr. Chanda. Just then his servant brought a greenish envelope with urgent and confidential letter on it. So now the story is moving into complete despair because Bipin Babu thinks he is going to finish. He is finished. He has nothing left because the memory traces are moving away from his mind, because he is unable to recollect any incident of Ranchi though he visited. Maybe because of all this anxiousness made him so stressful that he fell unconscious there. Somebody helped him, and when he came round, he said, I'm finished. So back home, in complete despair, he was on his bed. We can see him on his bed. Then his servant brought a greenish envelope with urgent and confidential letters on it. So let's see what is that letter. Now let's see what the letter is about. Dear Bipin, I had no idea that affluence would bring about the kind of change in you that it has done. Was it so difficult for you to help out an old friend down on his luck? I have no money, so my resources are limited. What I have is imagination, a part of which I used in retribution of your unfeeling behavior. Well, you will be all right again now. A novel I have written is being considered by a publisher. If he likes it enough, it will see me through the next few months. Yours Chunilal. Oh, so this is Chunilal who brought this anxious condition of Bipin Choudhury. He took revenge on him because he did not help him when he asked for it. Right? Vocabulary. When he came round, the first thing Bipin Babu said was, I'm finished. There's no hope left. Can you guess the meaning of came round? Is it becoming unconscious? Or is it becoming conscious? Yes, you are right. It's becoming conscious. So came round means regained consciousness. Well done. Comprehension check. What did Dr. Chanda prescribe for Bipin Babu? Prescribed a nerve tonic and a tranquilizer? Or prescribed an anti-allergic tablet and cough tonic? What's the right answer? Yes, you are right. Prescribed a nerve tonic and a tranquilizer. Great effort. Well done, dear students. One more comprehension check question. Who discovered Bipin's unconscious at Choudhury Falls? Who discovered Bipin unconscious at Choudhury Falls? What's the right answer? Bipin's friends? Dinesh and Chunilal? Or Gujarati picnickers who visited Choudhury Falls? What's the right answer? I know you can guess it. It's the Gujarati picnickers. Very good. Great applause for you. Working with language verb forms. Study the sentences in the columns below. There are two columns in the table, column A and column B. Let's read the sentences. Column A. I saw this movie yesterday. Column B. I have seen this movie already. What's the difference? In column A, I saw this movie yesterday, which is a completed action. So simple past tense. I have seen this movie already. In this one, we might be watching this one, or he might be watching that movie, and he is saying that he had already watched that movie. So this has relevance with the present action. So this is present perfect action. Okay. Now second one, Bipin Babu worked here for a week last year. So completed action. So simple past tense. Here in column B, Bipin Babu has worked here since 2003. He is working here still. So it has relevance to the present action also. So it is present perfect. Now column A, Chunilal wrote to a publisher last week. Last week he wrote, not now. It was completed. Okay, so simple past. When comes to column B, Chunilal has written to a publisher. Maybe now. Just now he might have written. So it has relevance to the present time. So this is present perfect. Whereas Chunilal wrote to a publisher last week, so he might be expecting a reply from the publisher. So column A might be simple past, but he is expecting the letter from publisher. Now column A, last sentence. I have visited Ranchi once long ago. Long ago I visited, not now. It has nothing to do with the present time. So it's completely simple past. I have visited Ranchi once before. So this might be his visit now. He is in Ranchi and he is recollecting that he had visited Ranchi once before. Okay. So I have visited Ranchi once before is conveying that he is recollecting something. Okay. So this is present perfect. He is still in Ranchi now. Okay. Let's move on to questions based on this table. The first question asked here. Compare the sentences in the two columns, especially the verb forms. Answer the following questions about each pair of sentences. Now, which column tells us that Bipin Babu is still working at the same place? I repeat, which column tells us that Bipin Babu is still working at the same place? To answer that question, let's have a look at the table. Yes, here. Bipin Babu has worked here since 2003. So he's still working. Now let's read the question once again. Which column tells us that Bipin Babu is still working at the same place? Yes, you can give the right answer. This is in column B. Very good. Let's move to the second question. Which column suggests that Chunilal is now waiting for a reply from the publisher? Which column suggests that Chunilal is now waiting for a reply from the publisher? To answer it, we will look at the table once again. If you look at the table, here in column A, Chunilal wrote to a publisher last week. It's a completed action, but here he can expect a reply from the publisher. So, but in column B, he has just written a letter to publisher. So he may not expect the reply so soon. But here in column A, Chunilal wrote to a publisher last week, so he might be expecting letter from publisher. Now, if you read the question once again, which column suggests that Chunilal is now waiting for a reply from the publisher? Yes, you are right. It's column A. Excellent. Let's move to the third question. Which column suggests that the person still remembers the movie he saw? Which column suggests that the person still remembers the movie he saw? For this answer also, we will have a look at the table once. Yes, from this table, it's clear that I have seen this movie already. It's just recollecting what he has seen earlier. So, our answer is in. Before answering, just look at the question once again. Which column suggests the person still remembers the movie he saw? Yes, you are right. It is in column B. Very good. Look at the next question. Which column suggests that the experience of visiting Ranchi is still fresh in the speaker's mind? I repeat, which column suggests that the experience of visiting Ranchi is still fresh in the speaker's mind? To answer this, let's move to our table. Yes, if you look at the table, here in column B, I have visited Ranchi once before. So he is recollecting and sharing his experience with us. So this might be our answer. Before we answer, we'll look at the question once again. Here comes our question. Which column suggests that the experience of visiting Ranchi is still fresh in the speaker's mind? Yes, you're right. It's in column B. Keep it up. Working with language, idiom. We are going to discuss the idioms we have come across in the text. Chunilal had been at school with him. He had been having a rough time lately and had been coming to see him about a job. This is the sentence from our text. Now, having a rough time. What does it mean? Having a rough time means having a lot of problems. Usage. At present, Mrs. Sarita is having rough time. Last year, Sarath had a rough time. So, having rough time means having a lot of problems. They are in difficult situation, right? Now look at the sentence. Bipin Babu didn't beat about the bush. What does it mean? Didn't beat about the bush? Came straight to the point. Usage. Stop beating the bush. Tell me what you need. Working with language, idioms. These are some of the activities given in your textbook. We have completed some sentences in our earlier session. Now we are going to complete the remaining sentences. The villagers tried the crime on the young woman to pin. Wow, these are jumbled sentences. Okay, now we have to arrange these jumbled sentences in the right order to get a meaningful sentence. Then we have to identify the idiom from that sentence and we have to write the meaning. Now, hope you recollected that we did such type of exercise in our earlier session also. Okay, now what is the right answer here? Right sentence here. The villagers try to pin the crime on the young woman. They are trying to blame that young woman. Okay, so they are going to force that woman has done something wrong. So they are implying So one person. So what is the idiom in that one? Pin the crime on is the idiom in that sentence. And what does it mean? Implicate the wrong person. Right? The question here is Bipin Babu orders to telling people under loud doctors eagerly that he was. What's the correct order of the sentence here? Bipin Babu loved telling people that he was under a doctor's order to eat early. Now, what is idiom in this one? Idiom is under one's order. So, here in this context, doctor's order. Okay. So, what does it mean? Under the instruction of someone. Here in our context, under the instruction of the doctor. Right? Let's move to another question. The students, the teacher, his eyebrows, when said that all their lessons raised, they had revised. What is the correct order of this question? The teacher raised his eyebrows when the students said that they had revised all their lessons. Yes, this expression will help you understand the idiom. What is the idiom in this sentence? Raised the eyebrows. To feel annoyed. Showing annoyance. Right? Okay. Now let's move to the next part of our session, assessment. Assessment. Which word did Bipin send Chunilal? We all know that Chunilal visited Bipin. Right? Which word did Bipin send Chunilal? Bipin sent a word to Chunilal that it was not possible to see him not only now but also in several weeks. Or Bipin sent a word to Chunilal that it was possible to see him only now and not later. What is the right answer? Yes, you are right. Bipin sent a word to Chunilal that it was not possible to see him not only now but also in several weeks. Well done. Next question. But he kept turning up like a bad penny. But he kept turning like a bad penny. Who is referred to as bad penny here? Bipin Babu, Chunilal, Parimal Ghosh. Is it A. Bipin Babu, B. Chunilal, or C. Parimal Ghosh? What is the right answer? Yes, you are right. Chunilal. So option B is the right answer. Big applause. Next question. He had a reputation for being a tireless, conscientious worker. What is the synonym for conscientious? Diligent, casual. Yes, diligent. What does it mean? Very careful, planned, and correct way of working also. So, diligent is the right answer. Well done. Let's move to fourth question. Just throw your mind back and tell me, did I go to Ranchi in 58? What does it mean to throw your mind back? Is it recollecting or is it forgetting? What's the right answer? Yes, you are right. It's recollecting. Well done. Now, fifth question. Who is Paresh Chanda? Who is Paresh Chanda? A doctor or a travel agent? Yes, you are right. Paresh Chanda is a doctor. Well done. Let's move to sixth question. What would be the reason for Bipin to refuse to meet Chunilal? He knew it was not possible to do anything for him, or he had an important meeting at his office. What is the right answer? Can you guess? Yes, I know. He knew it was not possible to do anything for him. Your guess or your answer is right. A big applause for you. Seventh question. Why was Dr. Chanda puzzled? What are the options? He is unaware of Bipin's situation, or he is aware of Bipin's situation. What's the right answer? Yes, he is unaware of Bipin's situation. Keep it up. Now, eighth question. Had Bipin Babu really lost his memory and forgotten all about a trip to Ranchi? I repeat, had Bipin Babu really lost his memory and forgotten all about a trip to Ranchi? Do you believe it? You just say in yes or no. What is the answer? No, he had not. Or yes, he had. What is the right option? Yes, you are right. No, he had not really lost his memory and forgotten all about a trip to Ranchi. Actually, he had not at all visited Ranchi. Good job, my dear students. Ninth question. Why do you think Chunilal did what he did? Why do you think Chunilal did what he did? Chunilal did so because Dinesh asked him to do? Or Chunilal did so to take revenge on Bipin? What's the right answer? Yes, Chunilal did so to take revenge on Bipin. Very good. 10th question. Chunilal says he has no money. What is that he does have? Chunilal says he has great imagination, or Chunilal says he has great ability to live on others. What is the right option? Yes, you are right. Chunilal says he has great imagination. Well done, my dear students. Now we will move on to the summary of this session. Summary or what we have learnt. Recapitulated the concepts from earlier session, identified the characters in Bipin Choudhury's lapse of memory, recognized and recollected the events that happened in the story, and discussed the same with your friends. Recalled and selected the alternatives of words or phrases. Compared and contrasted the difference between past tense and present perfect tense. Used a few idioms that you find in this lesson. Chose appropriate verbs or phrases to complete the sentences. Here comes the questions from examination point of view. Dear students, listen to your regular classes and try to answer these questions to get a clear perspective on this chapter. Best friends in your life are people who make your problems their problems. Just so you don't have to go through them alone. That is what friendship. So that's all for today, dear students, and in the next session we will appreciate the poem.